How's it going, everybody? It's your World Champion here, and welcome back to the ARC review series where I watch an arc of an anime, talk about it a little bit, give out my overall opinions on the matter, and give a nice little grade at the end. And if you hear some blowing in the background, that's because my apartment complex decided, hey, today's going to be a good day to just blow everything off, even though it's about to rain soon. So, yeah, it's been a while since we've sat here, talked about good old Naruto. And we are getting near the end of this war arc, and we're getting to the stuff that I actually didn't really care for in my original read-through of Naruto. Do I like it now? No, I still don't really like it right now, but yeah, where we last left off, Obito had become the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki. He had fought Naruto and Sasuke, and then they took out the tailed beast from him. Obito was starting to kind of come around to realizing that, oh, maybe I was wrong in all of this. And that's when Madara started to make his move and revived himself. And then Naruto and Sasuke ended up biting the Dusto. And that's where we left it before starting another filler arc that I already talked about. So let's just kind of talk about a few things that I didn't like in this arc. Again, we're not doing the old structure, we're into the new stuff. Let's just keep going and talking about this whole thing of Naruto and Sasuke dying. So Sakura is trying to keep Naruto alive, which is actually pretty cool. You know, we get to see a little bit more of her medical expertise. She cuts his side, puts her hand inside, and legitimately holds his heart and starts pumping it. His life is literally in Sakura's hands right now. But that was really cool just to kind of see more of Sakura's development as a medical ninja. So we're seeing that Karin and the others go to Sasuke, and they end up running into Kabuto. Kabuto is using his Sage Jutsu to revive Sasuke and basically bring him back to life and all that stuff. Karin, obviously, she has her healing properties as well. And also, another thing to note too, as her and the Orochimaru group were going towards Sasuke, they run into what I'm calling the Tobi Zetsu, who's using the wood style to just fight off all the other members of the Ninja Alliance. Also, I apologize if you can hear that loudness going on. Again, my neighborhood is really freaking stupid. Anyways, so these chains start coming out of her, just like what was happening inside of Naruto when he was trying to get Kurama's power. So we get more info of her being part of the Uzumaki clan, which, okay, let's just throw her in there too, along with Naruto and Pain, Nagato, and all them. So we see that, but yeah, Kabuto's there. He's reviving Sasuke using Sage Jutsu, and we get a nice little moment here where Orochimaru kind of talks to Kabuto a little bit, saying, oh, so you got out of the Izanami, huh? And yeah, Kabuto has some character development here, saying, I shouldn't have been trying to be somebody different. I should have been striving to be myself. And that's how it should be. So, good on you, Kabuto, having some nice character development here at the end. Nice to see that. Now, is he redeemed? Not really. Whatever. He does his thing here. And he does his little snake-like thing. It's really weird, too, because he still has the snake belly on him. And it just kind of attaches to Sasuke and just gloops stuff onto him. Now, Black Zetsu, he's currently on Obito. And that's where they're going with Naruto. Sakura and Gaara's with them. So they're going over to where the 4th and Kakashi are. Because the 4th has the other half of Kurama. And that's what Kurama was talking about near the end of the last part of this arc, where he told Gaara, hey, get Naruto over to the 4th Hokage right now. He has the other half of my chakra. So put that into Naruto, and Naruto should be fine, relative-wise. So they get there, and Black Zetsu stops the transfer. He starts getting some of the Nine Tails power from the 4th Hokage, which is actually kind of cool, kind of interesting. And so he gets a little bit more power from that. And he's able to at least give it to Madara when he gets there, which brings us to our next point here. Madara is now the new Ten Tails Jinchuriki. So shit is hitting the fan right now, because not only did they have trouble with Obito in this form, but now they have Madara on top of this, who is way stronger than Obito originally was, and now he's basically closer to the Sage of Six Paths that we keep getting referenced here in this arc. And don't worry, we'll get to the Sage here soon enough. But yeah, Madara becomes the new Ten Tails Jinchuriki. And also, I don't think I mentioned this in my last video dealing with this, but the reason Obito is still alive is because of the husk of the Ten Tails, that being, of course, the Ghetto statue. That is basically strong enough to, like, because there's like a husk of it, or because there's more of like another body of it, it's not as bad to the original holder, so they'll still live for a little bit longer. It's just they're extremely weakened right now, so that's why Obito kind of lasts a little longer than, let's say, when Naruto or Gaara got their tailed beast extracted from them. And so Madara, he pins down Tobirama, so Tobirama can't do shit anymore. And in the meantime, Obito is trying to hold back Black Zetsu, because Black Zetsu is trying to get the Rinnegan back from Obito to give back to Madara, so that way Madara has a full set of eyes to do all this. So what ends up happening is Madara just appears there, and he starts kind of monologuing a little bit with Obito, and this is where we kind of get a little bit of Obito's redemption in this as well, where Obito confronts Madara saying, you know, what am I to you? Like, what was I? And basically, he was just a tool. Madara used him as a tool, and basically told him that, you know, you were Madara Uchiha for a bit. Madara Uchiha is a state of being, a different, a way of looking at life. Kind of like, you know, with your Trump supporters. Trump supporters, they're not Trump, but they are Trump, if that makes sense. This kind of the same thing here, where Obito was Madara, even though he wasn't actually Madara. So it's basically just the ideals of Madara, and basically how he said it, he who rejects the world is Madara. And this leads into Obito's redemption story, where he does try to stop Madara here. He tries to stab him, tries to keep him from getting the Rinnegan and all that. He states that he is Obito Uchiha. He's back, the man who wanted to become Hokage originally. And we do get a few filler episodes of Obito again. Again, it's kind of padding out what we already know and what we already understood. So this is just another good thing to talk about, where it's better to just show and not tell so much, and the anime studio unfortunately just can't grasp that understanding that we should just show this because the audience is going to understand. The manga didn't do too much with it. It showed a little bit of a little bit more of the backstory, and we get to see that in animated form as well, but the fact that they use some of the same old scenes over and over again in some of this padding, it kind of just drags it down a little bit, especially with the timing of some of these filler episodes. But I at least understand why they put this here, because they're trying to emphasize Obito's story with everything and try to show that he is back to his original way of thinking. Because Madara also tells Obito that basically Madara was behind everything. He was behind the attack on Rin, making her the Three Tails Jinchuriki, and having Kakashi kill her and all that. Like, basically Madara's behind everything the entire time to try and create this infinite Tsukuyomi. And I know some people just don't really like that. I, for one, I'm a fan of that. I do like it in the terms of Madara. We'll get to the other person who does that very soon, very shortly, and why that didn't work. Because with Madara, he at least was built up since the beginning of Shippuden. Even way back when we had Naruto and Sasuke first fight at the final valley, or Valley of the End, however you want to call it. We at least saw Madara there and knew of him, sort of. He was at least built up, and the way he acts, again, I've gone on a few spiels about how I really like his monologuing and how he just sounds like a villain, how he acts like a villain, how he has a twisted way of wanting peace in the world, even though he's going about it in the most fucked up way possible. But this all ties into Obito doing the right thing then. So what ends up happening is him and Kakashi, they come together, they do the Kamui together and bring Naruto and Sakura and Obito into that other world. And so Obito ends up saving Naruto here. And we'll get into a little bit more of this soon, because part of it is fine, part of it's not because of what happens, but whatever. Obito helps to save Naruto in the end, basically putting the Nine Tails into him. Overall, I like this twist with Madara being the main villain and being the one behind everything. I personally like it. As much as people like Obito as a final villain and how he should have been the final villain, I like this too. So after all this stuff with Obito and all that, what's next on our docket here? Oh, we're here. We have finally reached this moment. So, where to begin? Madara starts monologuing again, and he talks about the six paths, Hagoromo. And he tells the story of how chakra came to be. Basically, Hagoromo wanted chakra to link everyone together. It was supposed to be a force to link everyone together in peace and harmony and all that stuff. However, the world found out, hey, we can weaponize this chakra thing. Fuck that, all that peace shit. Let's make it into a weapon, fight each other, create ninjutsu, all this other stuff. And we also find that Hagoromo, the Sage of Six Paths, was the son of Kaguya. And him and his brother ended up sealing Kaguya, and that was basically that. Another mention of Kaguya, and we'll get to her eventually. Don't worry, I promise. We will get to everyone's favorite final villain eventually. But that's not the most I want to talk about here. Let's move into a little bit of Hagoromo's story. So Hagoromo came from Kaguya, obviously. Like I said, that's his mother and all that. Kaguya came from far, far away. That's all we know about Kaguya right now. And him and his brother, they fought the Ten Tails. They sealed it inside Hagoromo, so he became the first Ten Tails Jinchuriki. And then he had sons named Indra and Ashura, who were just like Sasuke and Naruto. The story with Indra and Ashura, I don't recall if we've talked about it yet on this channel, but basically the story of them is Indra, he was given the eyes of Hagoromo. So he had the gift of the eyes and to see everything and all that stuff. Where he gave his son Ashura the power, so the chakra and all that stuff. And he was hoping that it would bring them together for peace and harmony. But it didn't, because Indra was a dick and he wanted the power, and basically him and Ashura just fought. So it turns out that Indra and Ashura, throughout the many decades and years, have been reincarnated as several people. One of those pairings being Madara and Hashirama. Okay, cool. They died. Who's next on our list? Naruto and Sasuke. So it turns out Naruto and Sasuke are reincarnations of the sons of the Sage of Six Paths. This irks me a little bit because I'm not a big fan of like the reincarnation thing. I can understand it to a point as long as it's established early on in the series that, okay, reincarnation is a thing, this is happening, you are the reincarnation of this person. That's fine. What's not fine is doing it near the end of your story and being like, oh yeah, all that stuff about hard work, dedication. No, you were born special. You were always born special. So that the whole thing with him and Neji and their fight about fighting destiny and all that, nah, that's just bullshit. Because first of all, Neji's dead now, so there's that. That's his destiny right there. Oh, you fought destiny, Neji. You still died protecting people. That sounds a little harsher than I mean, but let's continue onwards. Naruto's hard work just comes from him having a big old chakra pool, and oh, you are the son. You're basically the son of the Sage of Six Paths. Same with you, Sasuke. I mean, you have great eyes. You have wonderful eyes. You have the same eyes as Madara. Oh wait, Madara is also the reincarnation of Indra. Oh my fucking god. That just it irks me because I don't like story beats like that, because you basically are saying that your character, yes, they're the main character and all that's fine, that's understandable, but you're basically saying that your main character from birth, from day one, was always special. They were always destined to be great. Again, if it's stated early on in your series, I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem when you throw it in last minute in your series, because it makes other themes in your series look like shit. That's why a lot of people, whenever they want to talk about hard work and dedication from Naruto, they always point to Rock Lee. Rock Lee is the perfect example of all this, because he worked his ass off. And we're about to talk about Guy Sensei soon, who definitely worked his ass off. And it pays off in this arc. Let me tell you that right now. I just don't like it. And that's just a personal thing. You may like it, that's fine. You may not have an issue with it, that's fine too. It's just a story about a young boy. I mean, yes, I get it with the fox. I get that with Kurama in the Nine Tails. I understand that that's, again, something that was established early on in the series with the fox and having great chakra and big chakra. That's why this whole war arc, you haven't seen me complain once about how did Naruto get this chakra back. Because the Nine Tails chakra is immense. We know that since day one. But now it's his own chakra. The reason that's so immense is because, first of all, he's an Uzumaki, so just throw that in with Hashirama cells, why don't you? But it's also the fact that apparently he's a reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths' son. I don't like it. And there's some other things I didn't like. We'll get to those soon. So basically, the Sage of Six Paths, we find out what he actually talked to Naruto and Sasuke about later on, but he talks to both of them, tells them all this, and gives them some power. So Sasuke comes back out with the actual eye. It's actually a really cool Rinnegan eye. Actually, you know what? We're gonna save that talk for later on, I think, because right now I just want to stick with Hagoromo. So he has these discussions with Naruto and Sasuke. He helps kind of revive them a little bit and gives them some extra power to go forward. And we'll talk about their powers here in just a minute. But before we get to that, we have Maito Guy versus Madara Uchiha. So as they're fighting Madara, or they also kind of found this out while they were fighting Obito as the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, but the only way to really injure the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, or to injure Madara in this case, there's only two ways. The first way is through Sage Jutsu. So you have to have Sage Art Jutsu to even be able to hit him or touch him or anything. And unfortunately for us, the fourth Hokage, he's not that good at Sage Jutsu. And Hashirama right now is preoccupied. Kabuto, he really can't do much of anything because, I mean, if he tried to get into this fight, I don't think he would last that long. But the other thing that works very, very well against a Sage of Six Paths, if you will, is really good taijutsu. And there's only two people we have in this series that are really good at taijutsu. And that is Rock Lee versus Maito Guy. And you see this red aura right here? You see that on the screen? Might Guy goes 8 inner gates. He opens all 8 of them. We get to see all 8 inner gates open, fighting Madara. We see this power, and god damn is it good. This is definitely the highlight of this like little arc here, because we also get a little look back into Guy's past. So Guy's past, it was a lot like Rock Lee's, where he wasn't too good at ninjutsu or genjutsu, but he was pretty decent at taijutsu. So he worked his ass off. He kind of learned these self rules from his dad, who was still a genin, and we'll get to that here soon. I'm sorry, I keep adjusting myself. I can't help it. This is Might Guy versus Madara Uchiha. You guys all over the internet have seen this, so I don't need to talk about the action too much. So Guy spent all his youth training, getting strong and all that, eventually surpassing his dad. Like, he became a Chunin, and his dad is still getting yelled at by others for failing missions and basically being a failure. Yet Guy never gave up, and neither did his dad. And so we see a mission where his dad actually ends up saving Guy and his team from the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, mind you. And that's where Guy got to see the 8th gate being opened, and his dad died protecting him. And that's basically the prerequisite that Guy gave himself and Lee to open the 8th gate. It's to protect those close to you, even at the cost of your life. And so Guy has this open, and you just see like his body just tearing itself apart. And Gaara's there with Lee. I love how Gaara is with Lee during this. Like, not a lot of people want to talk about this, but they formed a really interesting friendship. You know, through their fight that they had and through the experiences that they're having right now. But they formed a really interesting friendship where Gaara is basically there for Lee right here during all this. And he's trying to tell him everything's going to be fine. And Lee's just like, yes, I know it's going to be fine. This is the springtime of his youth. And God, just the fight that ensues. And Madara just declaring that Guy Sensei is the strongest in taijutsu is so great. I can't help but say that the moment is dampened by what happens a little bit after this. Because Guy, he's in a charred state, but he survives. How does he survive? We'll get to that soon. So Naruto and Sasuke show up, and they're able to fight Madara pretty much on equal terms. Hey, isn't that great? So Sasuke, like I said, he got this new Sharingan Rinnegan Eye. He only got one of them, by the way, so he can only use that. And he can see like these. So Madara's like, he's using this technique called Limbo, where he can make like these ghost versions of himself. And so Sasuke can see them, and Naruto can touch them and fight them, because Naruto now has unlocked his Sage Mode chakra thing, because he has basically become Ninja Jesus as he walks over to Guy Sensei, puts his palm on him, gives him some life energy, and Guy Sensei, being a charred crisp, is still alive. So like I said in my previous point, Guy's sacrifice, it sucks, because on one hand, it's a noble sacrifice, it's great, and it leads to an awesome moment, but it's just dampened by Naruto basically reversing all of that. And then him and Sasuke have a really good fight against Madara. Like, they're putting up a really good fight, and it's awesome to see, and all they have to do is seal him away. And Madara, he's pretty good at it. He's pretty good at keeping them at bay and all that. The whole idea here is to keep Madara away from Obito. Luckily, Obito is still in that other space. He's with Sakura too, and they're talking a little bit. But the whole deal is to keep Madara from getting to Obito, to getting that second Rinnegan Eye. Because, as we know, if you have both eyes, the powers of that Rinnegan or Sharingan or Byakugan, they are enhanced greatly. So you're getting the full power of those eyes by having them together. So that's basically the mission here. And unfortunately, our boys kind of fail because Madara just zooms right past, grabs Kakashi, and just rips his eye out and puts it on his eye like it's just a light bulb or something. Uses Kamui for the first time ever, and goes to see Obito. And we get a little bit of downtime too, so that sucks. And all the meantime, so again, I'm gonna go on another Sakura hate tangent here. So I don't care if you like Sakura or not. I need to say this shit. So meanwhile, while all this is going on, Sakura is talking to Obito, and they're having a little bit of a heart-to-heart. And Obito just basically tells Sakura, you need to stab this eye. Because if you don't, Madara is going to be able to take this Rinnegan and basically do whatever the fuck he wants. Sakura, why did it take you so long to even try and attempt to stab his eye? And then, not only that, but Sakura becomes... This is more of how Sakura just becomes pretty much useless in the series. She gets teleported back to everybody, and so they're just waiting for Madara to come back with both of his Rinnegan eyes. And she tries to heal Kakashi because he just lost an eye, and then Ninja Jesus walks by. Pat. There you go, new eye. And we kind of get an explanation of what Naruto is doing. He's basically like using the body and creating what was originally supposed to be there. So it's a real eye, not a Sharingan eye. So Kakashi of the Sharingan is dead for the time being. We'll get to that road when we cross it. So again, leaving Sakura completely useless on the battlefield right now because she can't do anything. I mean, we have Ninja Jesus here. He can heal everybody. Why do we need Sakura anymore? But, God, we do get a nice moment here with Kakashi looking at Team 7. Because, so Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura, they're talking about everything, trying to plan something, and Kakashi just kind of remembers the olden days, and it is a nice moment, I will say that. And then that's when Madara comes back, and he's kind of pissed, and Sakura, also still being somewhat dumb, because, you know, she's caught up to them and all that, she unleashes her curse mark, her diamond mark, and goes right after Madara, saying, I'll be the distraction this time, blah, blah, blah. So her, Naruto, and Sasuke, like, fight Madara. It gets to the point where Madara, so superpowered pain here, basically he makes a lot of these planetary devastations. So a lot of these true seeker orbs and all that shit, like gravity wells and all that, making all these meteorites right there on Earth to just throw at everybody, just so he can distract them, so he can create the infinite Tsukuyomi. But we don't have time for all of that. No, we gotta talk about some filler. So we had some filler in this arc. Not the decent kind, which was the Obito filler. No. How did Konohamaru master the Rasengan? We have to know this. We need to know. Fans were chomping at the bits to know how motherfucking Konohamaru mastered the Rasengan. We get 2 episodes filled with Konohamaru mastering the Rasengan. And how did he master the Rasengan, you ask? Well, that's easy. He uses the sexy jutsu to master it. And basically, he transforms and tries to master it by thinking of boobs. And look, I'm a man of culture. I don't mind the boobs every now and then. If anything, bring on the boobs. Boobs are great. Boobs are awesome. Ladies are great. Ladies are awesome. But it's another thing when you look at a 10-year-old who is looking at pornography with another 10-year-old and then another female 10-year-old, and then basically just causing other teachers nosebleeds. Like, it's just, it's so dumb. And it's not only the fact that it's Konohamaru, it's just dumb. It hurts my brain. And it comes in the middle of all this serious shit going on. Like, again, placement of filler is very important. If you're gonna have filler, fine, whatever. Place it in a spot that it's gonna fit. Why in the middle of this arc are you gonna throw in 2 episodes of Konohamaru using the sexy jutsu to learn the Rasengan? Why? It hurts. It just hurts. So, just like the placement of it in this video, it's like we're leading to a high. We're getting to a high. Here it is, Konohamaru. Boobs. Neat. So this leads us into the final point I want to talk about. So Madara actually succeeds in activating the infinite Tsukuyomi. So like I was talking about in another previous part, where he was launching meteorites everywhere to just distract everybody from what's happening, and he ends up activating the infinite Tsukuyomi, because not only is he distracting everybody, but we have White Zetsu doing his thing against the ninja forces. Everyone's getting super tired from it, and they can't stop him. And so it gets activated, and luckily for Sasuke, who surrounds himself, Naruto, Sakura, and Kakashi in his Susanoo to protect them. Good on you, Sasuke, on that. So they aren't affected by the infinite Tsukuyomi, but everyone else in the entire world. And we see this happening, like, no matter where they are, whether even they could be even living in a cave, they still get affected by this infinite Tsukuyomi, which is actually quite impressive. This is an impressive jutsu. So Madara succeeds here in doing this, and we get a little bit of stuff here as well. So the only people that aren't affected with this are also the reincarnated Hokage. They're running around trying to wake people up from everything. And we also see that White Zetsu, who I've been calling like Toby Zetsu, he was actually using Yamato as his vessel, as his way of having power. And he's talking to the third, and we see like a little bit of filler with this, where Yamato sees that he's getting recognition from everybody and all that, and basically his dream and everything. And we see that the tree is starting to grow again. Madara used like that deforestation jutsu, and basically wrapping everybody up in like these seed pod things. And we'll see soon enough why that was a bad idea. And we also get some wonderful, awesome filler to tie into this as well, because our queen of filler episodes, 1010, because she never really got much of anything in the main story, make her the queen of filler. She gets 2 episodes of what her dream is, and she had the right idea of fighting it within the dream, but it doesn't work. And also, we're having characters from that one Naruto movie where they had like the fake infinite Tsukuyomi, because I think that was like the same kind of Hinata it was. It was like the very bully Hinata. That was just boring and slow. And then we do get a couple nice filler episodes as well, because we get one about Killer Bee, which is called Killer Bee Shippuden, which is also based off of a color page. So I thought that was kind of cool, because it's basically him getting all of the tailed beasts together to fend off the Akatsuki and all that against a princess and everything, and they're all in like these white clothes and all that. That one was actually pretty cool. I do like that one. And then there was one showing Karin's past, where she was just kind of reliving her past with how she was treated in the grass village, basically as a vessel to heal everyone, and how her mom died, and how she got in contact with Orochimaru, all that stuff. So those were at least fine. The 1010 one, not so much. And this also leads into what our next arc is going to be, but I won't talk about that now. Let's just kind of give an overall grade for this arc. I'm giving it a B+. Again, it's not that it was bad. It's just there are things I didn't like in it, and it's things that I have problems with this whole war arc, especially in the anime, with weirdly placed filler episodes. The fact that Naruto and Sasuke are just reincarnations of gods. You know, we have Ninja Jesus and Ninja Loki. I don't know why I'm referring to Sasuke as Loki, but oh, there that is. I'm still a fan of Madara being the final villain. I think he should stay the final villain. If you're following along with this, he's not the final villain, unfortunately. Some of the story with Hagoromo was pretty cool, just knowing that he had originally tried to give everybody chakra in order to connect everybody. And instead, you know, because humanity is evil, they turn it into weapons and all that. But B+, I think, is fine for this part of the story. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what you thought of this part, these few episodes, chapters, whatever have you. I'm surprised. So just to actually kind of piggyback on my last point, I'm surprised they didn't do more filler episodes about the others' dreams, because when you look at the manga, and maybe it's in the anime after this, but when you look in the manga, you see other people's dreams, like Hinata's, Shino's, Kiba's. Kiba's actually kind of looks funny, even though I have problems with Kiba. Yeah, like those actually looked interesting. Instead, we get 10-10. It's whatever. But I don't know. Again, B+ is fine. Be sure to like the video if I entertained you in any way, shape, or form. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss next week's arc review. So the next arc is going to be another filler arc. This one's actually pretty long. So hopefully I can get it out to you guys soon. And hopefully maybe we'll get to the Yu Yu Hakusho ones here in a little bit as well. And also my weekly coverage of One Piece, My Hero Academia, Eden Zero, JJK, all that stuff. So be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon so you get notified of anytime those videos get uploaded. And as always, people, I've been your world champion, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.